so excited for today. We are making change at the California State Capitol, and that is impacting the lives of people all over our state. But let me correct that, because it's not just change for people all over our state, it's change for people all over our nation. And you all have come here today to represent the people who need it most. You have come here to make change in our state, across our nation, and so I just want to thank you for being here. Give yourselves a hand. So most of you know what the Dream Alliance is, but for those who don't, on behalf of the over 65 progressive organizations that make up the Building the California Dream Alliance, I want to thank you, and thank you for being part of our 2023 Advocacy Day. My name is Evan Minton, my pronouns are he and they, and it's a pleasure to be part of Voices for Progress and to be the MC of today's ceremony. This alliance came together back in 2015 as an answer to the elitist, corporate, racist, homophobic, transphobic, corporate landlord. What else? What else? What? 1% chamber, apartment association, realtor association. What else? What else? That. I'm hearing, corporate polluter association, all of that. That's why this alliance came together. This alliance came together to work on behalf of environmental justice, on behalf of labor, on behalf of workers' rights, on behalf of gender equity, women's rights, LGBTQ+ rights. And that's why we're all together fighting alongside each other, because we know that no one segment of our population wins unless we all win. And that fight for us, that fight is together. Can I hear you say together? Together. That's right. And so today we have over half of our alliance here.
Absolutely.
That's 125 individuals and over 30 organizations across the state that have come here today to make change for our state's residents and our nation's residents. So again, give yourselves a hand. And we're advocating for 3 incredibly important bills. And we have prolific legislators here joining us. The first bill is SB 567, and I know some of you have been talking to legislators and staff about that today. That bill is going to help out, and that bill is by Senator Maria Elena Durazo. And that bill is going to help out renting families and prevent more folks from falling into homelessness. And we see the repercussions of that every day. And so I'm excited to be hearing from Senator Maria Elena Durazo just a little bit later. We also are advocating for the incredibly important SB 50 by Senator Bradford. Thank you. Yeah, Senator Bradford over here, very excited. Senator Bradford is a prolific legislator, particularly on criminal justice issues, and we are so glad that he's in the state legislature. SB 50 is addressing racial profiling by prohibiting police from making low-level traffic stops. And we all know that these stops disproportionately impact communities of color the most. In fact, in Sacramento, black drivers are 8 times more likely to be pulled over than white drivers. And even less likely to have anything on them. Change is needed. And we're advocating on SB 616 by Senator Lena Gonzalez. That bill is going to guarantee 7 days of paid sick leave for workers in California. And so when I say that you guys are coming together to create transformational change, that's what this looks like. Now I have the honor of introducing some of our state's most prolific legislators. First up, I'm going to be introducing Senator Bradford. As I mentioned, Senator Bradford is one of our most prolific legislators in our state legislature. And his work on behalf of reparations, on behalf of criminal justice, on behalf of those who need the most, those who need a helping hand, is we all have a big, big debt of gratitude to give to this man. So without further ado, here's Senator Bradford.
Good afternoon. Come on, good afternoon. Make some noise. All that noise going on with this construction. Make some noise. Let me first say thank you for being here and the important work that you're doing to advocate not only for SB 50 but for the two other bills that were mentioned. Give Evan a round of applause for his amazing leadership. Lizzie and all the amazing folks here in this town each and every day, making sure legislators like myself know what's important. And again, the importance of this Dream Alliance and what you guys represent, because you are the faces of California, you're faces of America, and we want to make sure that your voices are heard. And I want to say thank you for supporting SB 50. As stated, it deals with pretextual stops by police, and as the data clearly speaks, black and brown folks are stopped more so than our counterparts, and despite the fact that it is our white drivers who are 2 times more likely to have guns and drugs on them than black and brown people. But for some reason, they don't want to believe that. So I like to quote the great philosopher Jay-Z, men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. The numbers speak for themselves that we need this reform, and we also know what happens to many times black and brown folks. We just saw it this week in Pittsburgh, I believe, where a young man was killed. Inside his car with the windows up, they stopped him and they shot through the window and killed this guy. And he did absolutely nothing, and luckily the Ring camera in front of his mother's house captured the whole thing. And we have seen from Fernando Castillo, you know, we can go on and on to of all the folks who have had tragic endings because of just unnecessary stops by law enforcement. So it's going to make not only citizens safer, but law enforcement as well. Because many times when law enforcement is engaged by us, we're not armed, we're running from them, and it sometimes leads to police chases and things of that nature, and they wind up getting in a wreck too and wind up being injured. So I think this is a common sense bill whose time has come. Other cities have already implemented this in San Francisco and Berkeley, and we need it statewide here in California. So again, I want to thank you guys for your advocacy, your hard work in making sure that your voices are heard, and the things that are most important to you as individuals and as a community are heard by your legislators. So thank you very much for this opportunity.
Bradford, thank you again for your tireless work on this and so many other major bills. You know, carrying these bills isn't easy. Authoring these bills isn't easy, and a debt of gratitude. And I want to thank everyone again for knowing that solidarity between all of our movements is what's going to get us ahead. Yeah, so should we say together again? Okay, together on 3. 1, 2, 3, together! 1, 2, 3, together! 1, 2, 3, together! That's right. Now we're going to bring up Senator Lena Gonzalez, who is an amazing advocate. She's the chair of Senate Transportation, and she has been on the forefront of environmental justice and workers' rights and so many more, but it's been a true pleasure to see her leadership in the Senate, and also to know that she's in solidarity with all of us. She's a true friend of folks in the struggle, and a true leader in the state Senate. And she is, our priority bill with the senator is SB 616, which is paid sick days. And thank you, Senator Gonzalez, for carrying this bill. We love working with you on it.
Another big applause for Evan, because he's just the best. And thank you so much to the Dream Alliance. I do this work because of all of you. Truly, certainly, I mean, you all come through the halls of Sacramento, and you advocate and you push, and I see it back home in the district. I see so many faces that look like many of us back home in Senate District 33 in Long Beach, Southeast LA, South Los Angeles, very proud to represent these communities, but not just for my own district. This is for all 40 million Californians that we're going to protect. So I'll talk to you about what this is. SB 616. First and foremost, we have to give a big round of applause to all the workers in California. Big applause. Thank you. Because we like to tout ourselves as the 4th largest economy, but I said we cannot be the 4th largest economy without thanking our workforce. It's the janitors, the caregivers, the teachers, the school administrators, everybody that is working so very hard every single day to make this state great, and they probably ask themselves, what is this state giving back to me? And I'm going to tell you, SB 616, we want to make sure that we're expanding paid sick leave from 3 days, which we know is not sufficient, to 7 days, which honestly is status quo. If I had my qualms about it, I would have 14 days, even more, because we know, and even speaking with health professionals, that 3 days, 5 days is not enough. It's not enough to recover. In fact, the state of California has an isolation period that requests 5 days. So, you know, the chamber is going to say, oh, we need 5 days and 5 days only. No, 7 days, and this takes care of everybody. All workers, regardless of the industry you come from, full-time or part-time workers as well, and regardless of the size of the employees that are at your business, doesn't matter. Everyone is covered under SB 616. And we also have some, you know, a roadmap. Do we not remember the pandemic? 10 days of COVID sick leave is what businesses, because of the state also mandating that businesses provide 10 days of COVID sick leave. And we didn't fall out of the sky, nothing happened, our economy still thrived, but most importantly, we protected the workers because we don't want anyone coming to work sick. We want to make sure that they can stay home to heal and recover, take care of their family members, their parents, their children, and also recover from unfortunate traumatic situations like sexual assault. We forget about that. You need time to recover and heal. And in the 4th largest economy, we can't go backwards. We need to move forward. So we don't want to come back every single year. 7 days is where it's at. And I thank you so very much for putting your stamp on this and for working with us and for also putting your stamp on these other incredible legislators that are doing good work on criminal justice reform as well as housing, which we know we need to do as well. So thank you so much.
So when you want to know, when you come to Sacramento and you want to know who our friends are, Senator Bradford, Senator Gonzalez, Senator Durazo, 3 of our top friends. And now I would like to introduce Senator Durazo. Senator Durazo is an internationally recognized labor leader, and she has done so much for the rights and the protections and the dignity and the safety of working families. And it was a particular honor of mine to work with the senator on the garment worker protection bill, but her legacy, what she's continuing to create, is just changing lives, and it's so wonderful to see it. And on this particular bill as well, it's going to help countless Californians and hopefully be a model for other states. So thank you all for advocating on all of these bills and this important bill as well. Really excited to hear about it from the Senator Maria Elena Durazo.
Thank you, I appreciate that so much. I'm really glad to be here with my colleagues, Senator Bradford, Senator Gonzalez, you know, like on the ground when you do organizing, right? When you have a team of people working together, you do far, far more than if it was just yourself trying to reach out one by one to everybody. And that's what we have to do here in the legislature as well. We have to have teams of leaders who then go out and do our work to get the support for our bills, progressive bills. So thank you to my colleagues very, very much. And just thank you all for supporting SB 567. And when I mean support, I don't mean just, okay, put the name of your organization or individual, sign off on it, and then put it on the shelf. I mean actively support. I mean going out there one by one, talking to your communities, to our communities, and then taking that to the legislators and saying, here's a story I heard, or this is my story. You know, it's got to build up and build up. So that's why SB 567 is on its way to get passed in the legislature and then signed by the governor. It's up to us. It's up to us. Because we care about all of the hundreds of thousands of people who are on the street. We care about them, we care about their families, we care about their communities, our communities. And we know that there's a number of things that we have to do to stop that. It's a humanitarian crisis. We have to stop it. One of the ways is, of course, we need shelters, we need affordable housing, we need interim housing, we need support services. Yes, we need all of those. But the other thing we need is for the number to stop growing. The number of people who get evicted has to stop. The number of people that get evicted has to stop. And we have some laws right now, right, that exist, that are supposed to protect us from unfair, illegal evictions, but they're still happening. They're still happening. So we have to tighten the law, fix those loopholes, and really enforce the law that exists so that people don't get unfairly evicted. That has to stop. We cannot be proud of all the laws that we have unless we make them real to the people who are threatened by evictions every single day. That's our job. No more evictions out there in our communities. So, you know, that's the easiest way to say it. Say it to our legislators. It's not, you know, anti-landlord. It's not against people who own properties and rent them out. It's against those people who own properties who unfairly evict. That's what we're all about. And so I thank you so much for what you do, for doing this. I thank you, all your organizations. I see ACE and SEIU and Housing Now and all of you that make up this Dream Alliance. I really appreciate all of your hard work. Si se puede, vámonos adelante.
So I think that when we fight, we win. What do you guys think? When we fight, when we fight, when we fight, together. When we fight, when we fight, when we fight, together. All right. So can we give a big round of applause to our three progressive champion legislators? And a big round of applause to yourselves for coming out and making change. So I want to do a time check. If you have a 1 p.m. meeting, then be on time for it and come on back for an ice cream social afterwards. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful day making change.
As I read, just to give you a little bit of background of like who we are, how we come together. This is the California Dream Alliance, or Building the Dream Alliance. We're a progressive coalition based in Sacramento, but we have members across the state of California. And today all our members came together. So I'll let them do introductions and we'll get right into the bills from there.
I'm Michael Smolberg. I'm a legal intern with the Prosecutors Alliance California and currently a law student at Stanford Law School.
Great. Rita Costa from Monterey County, Building Health and Communities.
Wes White from Monterey County, Building Health Communities.
Lorena, Building Health and Communities, and also United Farm Workers.
Great. Beth Smoker, I'm with the California Food and Farming Network.
Wonderful. Nice to meet you all.
And Chris with the Western Side Law and Poverty. We'll start off with SB 50. We'll let Michael start out, and then I think Rita has some testimony as well to just kind of, and you know, this means more just general overview, not necessarily in the weeds about the bill.
Okay.
SB 50 would ban pretextual stops for police. I think, police definitely use those stops to get searches on vehicles and such, and use minor things to get get more press search vehicles, and then the searches usually end up targeting minority communities more. Especially, for example, in 2012 through 2018, the LA County Sheriff's Department had a task force on I-5. They did over 9,000 stops, of which 69% of the people were Latino. 2/3 of them were searched, and then 3/4 of them gave consent, not probable cause, meaning that the police more or less pressured them to consent to searches.
And if you wanted to share your story,
Oh, like,
sorry.
so like, I'm a homeless community from Salinas. Over there, I would say stop them from, if you're down there and they see you, the police pull you over and they're assuming that you're either selling drugs or, you know, but you're really down there trying to get services, but then you become, you know, they're like, search your car or try to find something on you, so I think that would be good. You know, just because you're in a certain area doesn't mean you're doing bad things.
Perfect. And then the next one, SB 567, is a housing bill that we'll let Olga talk about, and Wes as well.
Well, SB 567 would be very important for us. We've been working with the community in Salinas, Monterey County, and we're talking about people being evicted illegally because they're just being thrown out and then raising the rents and having people go homeless because there's no affordable housing and the rents are way too high. And I have a message from Nidia Soto, who is our organizer for Building Healthy Communities, and she lives in Salinas, California, and in October of 2022, her and her 3 children were evicted, given a 60-day notice to evict, and so they didn't have any place to go to after 12 years of living in the same house. They were given a notice that claimed a substantial renovation, which meant eviction, which meant that it was plumbing and electrical, and it was major repairs. They might even have to tear down the building. 20 days after she left the building to find other housing, they moved in another tenant, and they raised the rent twice of what it was. Nidia had to move into whatever there was because she needed housing. Right now she's paying 3 times what she was paying at the original housing, and also she is having to pay her paycheck 100%. That's a lot of money, and so she doesn't know what's going to happen next month or the month after because she's living day to day on one paycheck. And that's the story of a lot of people in our county or in California, the housing crisis.
Well, gosh, yeah, no, I'm all about homeless prevention because I deal a lot with homeless people and the way those policies work. So I see how that ends up. Even just $20 a month could just, you know, create an eviction. But you're very compelling. I just hate to see people end up in a situation to where the only form of affordable housing is constantly taken away from them. So this Homeless Prevention Act is everything toward making sure that they, you know, doesn't create a state creating danger. This is definitely, people die outside every day. They need housing. Yeah.
And the last bill we'll bring up to you, and then just get any feedback that you want to provide, is SB 616 by Senator Gonzalez.
Yeah, which is, are you familiar with this bill? Yes. Yeah, extend paid sick leave to 7 days. So yeah, currently in California, there's 3 required paid sick days, and it's to extend it to 7 days. It will affect a lot of workers. My network is really interested in it from the perspective of farm workers who, you know, every day are having to decide whether to like send their kids to school sick or lose their job. And you know, 3 days, I have 2 kids at home, and one kid gets sick, they're home for a day, the next kid gets sick, and then I get sick, and that's just like one bug, right, one time a year. So a number of cities in California have actually extended up, surpassed the state now, and offer up to 9 days, even some down in Holden's district area around there, 7-9 days. So this is really like, it's time to catch up. The state of California needs to catch up and set a new standard for 7 days of sick leave.
And while we know that you're looking at it from the fiscal lens, any insight you could give us on maybe conversations out with the member where he might stand in a probes and on the floor would be great.
Right.
At least for the first two bills, those aren't ones that I've analyzed, so I don't know a lot about them like in the weeds, but I know that like conceptually, you know, what they're trying to promote are things that the chair is absolutely supportive of, has been supportive of in the past. And then with regard to 616, I mean, from a cost perspective, I think just because of like it incorporates IHSS workers, so it is like costly from a state perspective. However, understand of course that, you know, a lot of local ordinances are going this way, other states have gone this way, so it's definitely something we'll be considering in the coming week. But I know he understands how important paid sick days are, especially in the context of, you know, the pandemic that we all just went through. So, yeah.
Perfect. Anything else that anyone would like to share or close with?
Well, what about the housing, 567?
Right. So again, I don't know a lot about that bill specifically, but homelessness, of course, is something that's very top of mind to the chair.
And the reason being is because the way that this office is set up is they have specialized staff in those. It's just that it's not her issue area.
I see.
Yeah. So she has a colleague.
So you have to
check in with them.
But I can say that the chair overall, you know, understands that homelessness is such a concern. I mean, in his district, you know, in the area, you know, where you are, but also, as you mentioned, across the state.
Okay.
So he definitely understands why it's a priority.
Affordable housing.
Right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you all for coming by.